Here's a dangerous thought. What if the future doesn't belong to the wise at all, but to the fools? Sounds insane, right? But Machiavelli, the man who literally wrote the handbook on power, hinted at this 500 years ago. And here's the twist. He may have been right. Machiavelli saw something strange. The people who rise to the top aren't usually the smartest, the kindest, or even the most capable. More often, they're the ones bold enough to look reckless, even foolish. And here's the kicker. Instead of punishing them, society rewards them. Think about it. Who gets remembered? The quiet genius who waits for the perfect moment? Or the reckless risk-taker who jumps first and figures it out later? Again and again, history chooses the same answer. Boldness beats brilliance. Spectacle beats silence. Here's the part nobody teaches you. Power is allergic to hesitation. Crowds reward the signal of certainty because certainty makes decisions easy. And algorithms, they don't ask who's right. They ask, who keeps us staring? Want proof? A Nobel Prize economist posts a 50-page paper, 10,000 reads. A 19-year-old duct tapes a banana to a wall, 5 million views. Who wins? The banana. Here's the scary translation. Wisdom is invisible, and invisibility might be the new failure. And in today's world, that pattern hasn't just survived, it's been supercharged. Who dominates now? Not the careful thinkers, but the loudest, flashiest, sometimes flat-out foolish voices. They don't just get noticed, they own the stage. Which leaves us with a terrifying cliffhanger. If attention decides our leaders, does truth even get a vote?
Here's the wild part.
It's not just theory. History is littered with moments where the so-called fool doesn't just survive, they win big. Take Columbus. Everyone said he was insane, sailing west into the unknown with barely a map, no safety net, no guarantee of survival. To his critics, he was a reckless fool. But his gamble didn't just pay off. It redrew the entire map of the world. But wait, it gets crazier. The Wright brothers? Their neighbors mocked them, called them lunatics chasing toys with wings. Their workshop was a punchline. Yet one freezing December morning, their flying machine lifted off, and in that moment, the impossible became reality. Here's the twist nobody tells you. A doctor named Ignaz Semmelweis begged surgeons to wash their hands. His colleagues laughed him off as hysterical. He looked foolish until the data proved he was saving lives. See the pattern? The cautious genius waits for certainty. The bold fool creates certainty. And history doesn't remember the cautious, it remembers the bold. Now fast forward to today. Same game but turbocharged. A researcher posts a careful thread, 20 likes. A prank channel likes a firecracker in their kitchen, 2 million views. Guess who wins the algorithm? And it's not just stunts anymore. Remember GameStop? A bunch of self-proclaimed fools on Reddit turned memes into market chaos, toppling billion-dollar hedge funds while Wall Street panicked. That wasn't strategy, that was spectacle becoming power. Here's the kicker. You'd think eventually people would get tired of it, but no. They don't just tolerate spectacle anymore, they crave it. Outrage, chaos, drama. That's the new currency of attention. Which leads to the cliffhanger. If history keeps rewarding the fool, and modern culture is addicted to them, what happens when the loudest fool isn't just entertaining us, but steering the future? Here's the part nobody likes to admit. Machiavelli wasn't just warning about kings and rulers. He was warning about us. Because if the future really does belong to fools, then here's the uncomfortable truth. Being wise, cautious, or deeply thoughtful might not make you a leader. It might make you invisible. But wait, here's the twist. Intelligence doesn't vanish. It just loses the spotlight. Crowds don't cheer nuance. They cheer confidence. They don't follow the quiet thinker. They follow the loud voice that never hesitates. Look around. In companies, it's often the bold talker who gets promoted, while the quiet talent stays overlooked. In entertainment, shock value crushes substance. Even in relationships, charisma often outruns depth. Here's the scary part. Society runs on a hidden rule. Act fearless, even if you look foolish, and you'll outrun the ones who overthink. So how do you stay wise without going invisible? 3 cheats. Signal certainty, hide doubt. Decide out loud, revise in private. Asymmetric bets, small risks, massive upside, never the reverse. Action bias, move first, polish later. In other words, steal the fool's signal, keep the sage's substance. But here's the trap. Play it too well, and you become the very fool you swore you'd never be. Which leaves us with Machiavelli's final riddle. Play the game or get played. The question is, do you think you're clever enough to balance both? Or will the future remember you as wise, but invisible?